Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Thursday, May the 21st. It's race number 2 at Gulfstream Park. We're kicking off a 50-cent early pick 4 with 2-year-olds going 5 furlongs on the turf, weather permitting. We are expecting some wet weather down in South Florida this week. Before I get to the analysis, please try out those DRF mobile past performances. Experience DRF classic past performances with true interactive mobile access anywhere, anytime on your phone. Get the exclusive lifetime buyer speed figure graph. Downloads quick and easy. Learn more, drf.com/MPPS. Here's the field for race number 2 at Gulfstream Park, and you can download free formulator past performances for this race with lots of great pedigree information on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Again, this race scheduled 5 furlongs on the turf. Wet weather might force it to the main track, however. Wesley Ward, who we all know is a true guru with these 2-year-olds. He has the first 3 horses on the page. The 1 Royal Approval, the 2 Flying Aletha, both are first-time starters by Tiz Now. The 3 Lime, entered for main track only, is the only horse in the race with any sort of prior racing experience. Let's begin with Royal Approval. And I look at this pedigree, and I really kind of think that dirt might be better for Royal Approval. Tiz Now, of course, a 2-time Breeders' Cup Classic winner, gets 7% winners with first-time turf runners, 8% winners with 2-year-old debut runners. The Dam won her career debut sprinting on the dirt. The 3rd Dam was multiple grade 3 placed routing on the dirt. This is the family of a Kentucky Oaks winner named Summerly. A lot of dirt pedigree. We don't see a published work in the last 19 days or so. That would normally be worrisome. With Wesley Ward, you really don't worry too much because of his great success rate with 2-year-olds, but I would prefer this horse perhaps if this race is reined off of the grass. The 1 Royal Approval. On turf, I prefer Ward's number 2, Flying Aletha. This horse, a $100,000 weanling that then resold for $175,000 as a yearling. Another daughter of Tiz Now. The Dam won sprinting on the dirt. The 2nd Dam, a multiple stakes winning router on dirt and synthetic. Not a ton of turf pedigree here, but what you like about this is the fact that you have Ward in your corner, you get Irad Ortiz, and the workouts look really strong on the turf. I got to look at the April 5th Bullet workout at Palm Meadows. This horse seemed to work about a half length or so better than a 2-year-old that Ward trains named Sunshine City, who came back 5 days later and won her career debut, albeit on dirt, for a $25,000 maiden claiming tag. This filly seems to be working well. It looks like she's quick, and I would expect her to run very, very well if this race stays on turf. Lime is the number 3. Lime was a disappointment in her career debut. She's only entered for main track only here, but I'm going to mention her because there is, again, expected to be a lot of rain in South Florida, and Lime showed big speed in her career debut. It looked like she was moving best while on a clear lead turning into the stretch, and she just got tired and hopped back to her left lead. She seemed a little bit green. It was a disappointing performance considering Ward's success rate with first-time starters, but Ward is also very, very good second time out, and this filly's experience should serve her well if this race is washed off of the turf and onto the main track. The number 4 is Whistler Dixie, and this filly has a really interesting pedigree. A $27,000 Keeneland September yearling who was bought back for $23,000 as a 2-year-old in training. This is a half to a stakes-winning turf router named Squadron, who went 2 for 2 as a 2-year-old. The young stallion Vancouver was a champion 2-year-old in Australia and a Group 1 winning turf sprinter. The Dam won a couple of synthetic routes. The Dam is a half to a grade 3 winning turf router named Darien. Whistler Dixie has a very strong turf pedigree, and I do like the combination of speed and stamina here. This filly might offer a little bit of price potential for trainer Tim Ham, whose horses generally do well first time out, although most of them do well on the main track. The 5 is Great Warrior, and I think you could argue that Great Warrior is the best bred horse in this race. She sold overseas as a weanling for over $250,000 $148,000. She's by the Great Turf Stallion Warfront, 12% winners with 2-year-old debut runners, 11% winners with first turf performers. The dam was a juvenile Group 3 winning turf sprinter in France, so there is a lot of pedigree here. European turf pedigree, sprint pedigree. Mark Casse trains here for Luis Saez, and I would think the Great Warrior is going to be set to go off of a half-mile breeze from the gate in 47 and change. I think this horse is going to show some speed and is a contender. Casse also trains the 6, Baby Mo. I prefer this one maybe if this one is reined off of the turf. Baby Mo is going to be the first starter by First Crop Stallion Upstart, who was a dirt horse, a Grade 2 stakes winner going long on the dirt, but who won his career debut as a 2-year-old, earned a 108 Beyer top on the main track. Baby Mo sold for $65,000 as an October yearling. The unraced dam is full, 2 winners from 3 runners. While the dam is a half-sister to a stakes-winning turf router, this is the family of Kentucky Derby winner Fusaichi Pegasus, Preakness winner Pine Bluff, and I just have a feeling that this horse might be better suited to dirt. So keep an eye on the weather. On turf of the Casse horses, I prefer Great Warrior. On dirt, I prefer Baby Mo. The number 7 is Bonheur. This is a filly by Munnings, who does very, very well with 2-year-old first-time starters. 15% winners, 10% winners with first-time turf. This horse sold for $16,000 as a yearling. The dam was a sprint winner on a synthetic surface. She has foaled a horse that is placed on the turf. The dam's a half-sister to a stakes-winning synthetic sprinter, but this is a strong female family geared towards turf, the family of Turf Champion Sky Classic. As we see from the formulator fact, the barn doesn't do very well with first-time starters on the turf, but there is some pedigree here. This is a filly that might go off at a nice price, and I think you should at least consider her on the bottom of single-race exotic wagers and a good mutual, especially if the race stays on the turf. The 8 is Renessa by Carpe Diem. This is a $25,000 yearling. Carpe Diem, 8% winners with 2-year-old debut runners, 8% winners with first turf runners. The dam won sprinting on both dirt and synthetic. This is her first foal. The dam is a half-sister to a multiple Grade 2 winning turf router, so there is turf on this pedigree. Trainer Antonio Sano can get a horse ready to win first time out, but we only see a couple of breezes on the page, and I just wonder if this horse would benefit from a little bit more distance down the road. Sometimes that's the case with these Carpe Diem progeny. The 9 is Renessa Lady. The sire of the Big Mystery was a stakes place turf router as a 2-year-old, has not had many foals to race. The dam won sprinting on the dirt. This is her first starter. The 3rd dam, a Grade 2 winning dirt router. Just don't see enough pedigree here with the 9. Renessa Lady is going to need an alert break from the far outside post, whether this race is on the turf or on the dirt. We take a look at my top selections for this race. If this race stays on the turf, the horses I'm keying on in this 50-cent pick 4, the 2 Flying Aletha for Ward, the 5 Great Warrior for Casse. Those are the 2, if this race stays on the turf, that I'm going to be using prominently in the 50-cent early pick 4 at Gulfstream Park on Thursday. Approximate post time for race number 2, a really nice maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies, is at 1:15 Eastern. Best of luck.